Soup Simp, written by Qoutewithhope and read by Eleanor Elizabeth. Summary. Hitoshi has made a routine of going to a small cafe after school. Today, he finally musters up the courage to hit on the sweet barista. Walking into the quaint little cafe, the jingle of a bell announcing him, Hitoshi was hit by the smell of sweets and herbal tea. Warm colours of pastel greens, soft oranges, and comforting browns filled his vision. It was a complete contrast to the whipping cold outside. A puff of green locks peeked up from the notebook he was writing in behind the counter. "Welcome to Midorimoa Cafe, how can I—" "Oh, it's you!" His awkwardly forced customer service smile faded into something more tender and genuine. The name tag on his apron was covered in small hero stickers and brightly coloured drawings. "Izuku" was written in a sloppy font, something between cursive and print. "You act like you aren't happy to see me." Hitoshi tightened a hand around his backpack strap, a smug grin stretching itself across his face. Izuku moved a hand to the back of his neck, a gentle blush flushing across his cheeks. "It's not that I'm not happy to see you, it's just I already know what you want." A large ragamuffin cat brushed against Hitoshi's leg, begging for his attention with her loud purrs. Squatting down and scratching a clipped ear, he looked back up at the barista. "Is that a bad thing? Misty here doesn't think so." Izuku's eyes widened as he waved his hand nervously in front of him. Of course not. It's just a little ironic, but not in a bad way. Like, it's kind of funny. Not that you're a joke." It was always cute to watch him get flustered over the little sarcastic comments Hitoshi made, but he'd rather have him conscious and breathing than knocked out from lack of air. Standing upright, he set his hands gently on the counter. "I get your coffee bean. Take a breath." As if a fish was getting water for the first time, Izuku took a large gulp of air. Hitoshi followed as an example, but in a much more relaxed way. "Better?" Turning away from the counter, Izuku began to prepare the young man's soup. "Better." This sweet routine had been started just a month ago, and the two had quickly grown to love it. It all started with Hitoshi's father allowing Class 1A to take a small trip to the cafe near the school. The rowdy bunch had traumatized the poor green barista with all of their orders and volume. Hitoshi hadn't even realized there was a cat to be found until most of the class had walked back to the school. She had appeared in the booth in front of him, meowing obnoxiously for a lick of his attention. He knew Class 1A were troublemakers, but he didn't expect Bakugo to be dragged out by Kirishima after he had attacked the poor guy before he left. Hitoshi had been the last one to leave, and got a front row seat to Izuku having an absolute meltdown behind the counter when he went to pay. Something about explosions and a kachan. He wasn't the best at comforting, or emotions in general, but his dad would be pissed if he just left. So he tried the best he could to try and help him calm down from over the counter. To try and make the situation less awkward, Hitoshi ordered soup of the day. He didn't even like soup, but it seemed easy enough to put together and gave him a reason to stay. It was a thick butternut squash, smooth, simple, and came with a side of bread that was shaped like a cat's head. Now, when he'd read that all the food here was homemade, he didn't believe it. Tons of shops say fresh or homemade, just for it to come out of a frozen storage bag. But this, he could taste the exact flavours and spices. It gave him a feeling of home, even when he knew there wasn't a chance that any of his family had ever cooked anything like this. Not even Lunch Rush could compete with how good it tasted. In fact, it was so good that he now comes here every Friday at 6:46 p.m. on the dot. Sitting down at his unofficial booth, Misty pattered over to join him like she was royalty among peasants. "So, what's the soup today? I'm guessing something brothy." He could see him move around the kitchen from a small window, flashes of green hair popping in and out of view. "Close. My mom made something new. It's a sweet soup, almost like a dessert." Coming out of the kitchen with a towel thrown over his shoulder and a tray in his hand, he made his way to the table. Placing an off-white bowl in front of him, the contents made him extremely interested. The liquid was a soft orange colour and smelled faintly of mango and coconut. He could see the orange squares and white circles float around on the surface. With a small bow and spin of his heel, Izuku moved back behind the counter, sticking his face in a book. Hitoshi watched him for a second, almost entranced by how deep in concentration he was. Not wanting to seem like a creep, he turned most of his attention to the food. Slamming his hands on the counter, Izuku's head shot up. "Wait, you aren't allergic to anything, right?" Hitoshi was already 2 spoonfuls deep before realizing that he'd been asked a question. Mouth full, he gave a shake of his head, making Izuku sigh in relief. His posture slouched and reverted to its normal state of twitchy and jumpy. "Oh, good. Once you're finished, mind giving me some feedback? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and give them to my mum, of course." The soup was delicious. It was milky and tasted almost like ice cream, but not as thick. There were small chunks of mango jelly and tapioca pearls that paired well with the sweet custard-like liquid. Izuku had taken his bowl and given the cat a small boop on the nose before turning to Hitoshi. God, he looks so cute like this. The sunset had slipped its way in through the large glass windows and covered the bridge of Izuku's nose in a perfect light of orange. "Thank you." The bright smile he gave truly completed the sunshine look he had going on. "You're welcome. Anything else I can get you?" Izuku asked, head tilting ever so slightly. "Aside from this recipe, your number would be pretty nice." If Hitoshi was destined to die in a cafe booth, at least his last view would be nice. Last words? Not so much. Oh my lord, why did I say that? Panic began to soar through his mind when Izuku just stared at him with a blank look. Who the hell even uses pickup lines like that anymore? They just stared at each other for a few minutes. Izuku standing there with a tray of dirty dishes and a cat batting her paw against Hitoshi's bag. Izuku opened his mouth to say something, but stopped himself when a new customer made their way into the shop. Biting his tongue, Izuku took the tray to the counter and began helping the guest. Hitoshi could only stare down at the space in front of him in shame, too trapped in his mini existential crisis to care that Misty had made her new home in his bag. He could hear the barista start some machines and listen to his voice fade in and out, but then the sound of footsteps got oddly close to his table. "Here's your bill. See you next time." Izuku laid 2 thin slips of paper in front of him and was already back behind the counter before he could thank him or maybe apologize for being so stupid. The bill was normal, nothing new or unexpected, aside from the fact that it was paid for already. He was really going to have to tell him that that wasn't the ideal way to run a business. The second was the recipe, Midoriya's Secrets, which had been crossed out and replaced with Izuku's Secret. The handwriting was in a messy font and dark green glitter pen. The messiness was less from speed and more from the care put into it, making sure to get every letter legible and each measurement exact. He could see some ink bleed through on the back, so he flipped it over only to be surprised by a new colour of glitter pen. It was a deep purple, darker than his hair, but still a close resemblance. XXX-XXX-XXXX. Maybe I can make a soup as hot as you next time. Winky face. Hey there guys, gals and non-binary pals. It's Ella and I hope you're having a lovely day today. Am I recording this at 3:30 in the morning? Possibly. Does that bode well for what time this will actually go up? Sorry if it's really late for you, but I just about squeezed this one in after a very long day. But I hope you liked it. I thought it was really cute, and the idea of just like Hitoshi coming in like every week for like the soup, and like clearly it's good soup, but like he's coming for Izuku because he's a cutie. I ship these two so hard. Oh my goodness. They're just so adorable. I love it. But tell me, what did you think? Do you ship it? Do you find them as adorable as I do? Just let me know. I just love talking to you guys down in the comments. You can tell me about the fic. We can talk about anything you want. You know how it is. I'm a chatty Cathy. What can I say? You could also like the video, if you did like it. And if you want to boost my serotonin levels, which, I could use right now. It's been a rough week. But you could also subscribe to be notified whenever I make new videos, which at the moment is every day because it's Ficmas. I don't even know what day we're on, but it's 10 days till Christmas. We're over halfway through, which is kind of mad, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't know what the maths is, but kind of crazy. It's been fun. It's been kind of overwhelming, but it's definitely been fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know that in the comments. You could also join the Discord server. Server? Yes, I can speak English. Can you tell that it's 3 a.m.? Yes, but you can join the Little Listeners Discord server. We have a great time over there. We chat about. It's a vibe. Honestly, it's a vibe. I'll put the link in the description down below. But until I see you again, be sure to practice some self-care. Go to bed on time. Don't be me. Please, don't be me and actually go to bed because it's good for you, right? And I'm probably having such a rough week because I haven't been sleeping much. So be better than me and sleep. And also eat your 5 a day. You need the fruit and veg. Those vitamins. They'll help boost your immune system. So you can once again not be like me, who gets sick all the time. But you should also drink water. Hydrate. Because I do that. I've got water right here. I've been drinking water like crazy. I drink water every day. Because it's good for you. You must hydrate. And yes, that is a threat. I will catch you guys laters.